we just try to educate people, make sure they have the precautions in place.
Coming up next on WTOL 11 News, do you have a loved one who struggles with dementia? We take a look, a new innovation for keeping track of your loved ones, even if you can't always keep an eye on them.
So tonight, with faith and devotion, I proudly accept your nomination for President of the United States.
Former President Donald Trump took the stage tonight as he accepted the Republican presidential nomination. Hear more of what he had to say.
I think what you've witnessed tonight in this room is the people that have been forgotten, the ones that pay their taxes, the ones that go to work every morning, the ones that raise their kids.
After hearing the former president speak tonight, we check in on the pulse of Republicans in Northwest Ohio in one community tonight and get their thoughts on what they heard. That's next.
Welcome into WTOL 11 on this Friday morning. Now I'm Kaylee Marentet.
And I'm Jeff Smith. Great to be with you. Boy, I'll tell you what, we had a little re-invitation to fall yesterday, I have to say. Wonder if it's going to continue.
It felt pretty nice. Actually, I had my windows open today, and it was nice, but I am ready to get back to the heat. Chris, are we going to see some more heat coming in this weekend?
Going to be a nice balance of both. We'll get a cool start to our Friday morning and then progressively turning warmer into the weekend. We are already falling back into our early Friday morning now, upper 50s across vast majority of the area. Coolest weather tonight going to be west and north of the Toledo Metro up into southern Michigan. Still have a few areas though, mid to upper 60s, especially to the south and off to the east. Doppler radar, it is clear and dry. There's no threat of any rain over the next couple of days. We'll widen the picture out with clear skies, calm winds tonight. We're going to stay chilly back into the 50s overnight tonight. Mostly sunny skies on Friday. It's that first step towards some warmer weather. Dry and pleasant conditions right around 80 degrees. More 80s into the weekend. We'll detail how long we're going to stay dry, and I'll highlight that next chance of storms. That'll be coming up in just a little bit. Jeff, back over to you.
Chris, we'll see you then. Former President Trump speaking at the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee. In fact, officially accepting the party's nomination in doing so.
It's the first time he's made a speech since Saturday's assassination attempt in Pennsylvania. Steve Iwanek went out to Oregon to speak with the city's conservative club. What were they most excited to hear about tonight, Steve?
Well, Jeff, Kaylee, first of all, they were most excited to just see President Trump in general following Saturday's assassination attempt. But when I talked to people at the meeting earlier, they were most excited to hear about three consistent themes: strength, togetherness, and unity. And so when we went to talk with those members, they said that they thought the RNC was a great success. For voters like Club President Lynn Gibbs, she says what Republicans have set up for November is going to be very successful. In her view, Trump's selection of Ohio Senator J.D. Vance to be his vice president will be great for America. But regardless of political view, she hopes that all Americans use speeches like Trump's tonight to go to the polls and vote come November.
I think after what happened last Saturday, people are looking for hope. They're looking for a reason to keep going. They're looking for a reason to influence their friends to vote this year.
So now the Trump-Vance ticket is official for the November election. And actually, the Trump campaign will be making a stop in Grand Rapids, Michigan this coming Saturday at 5 o'clock. Now it's the Democrats' turn for their convention, which will be held in Chicago in exactly 1 month on August 19th. Reporting in Oregon, Steve Iwanek, WTOL 11.
Now, this marks the third straight election that former President Trump accepted the Republican nomination.
Tonight also marked the first time all week the full Trump family was on hand, including his wife Melania and daughter Ivanka. A new CBS News poll out of this evening shows Trump with a growing advantage. He's up 5 points nationally now and 3 points across key battleground states. Tonight he spoke about uniting the nation.
Friends, delegates, and fellow citizens, I stand before you this evening with a message of confidence, strength, and hope. 4 months from now, we will have an incredible victory, and we will begin the 4 greatest years in the history of our country.
Donald Trump's speech covered a wide range of topics, from the attempted assassination on his life to the movement to make America great again.
Yeah, so how are Democrats feeling locally about the GOP nominee and his speech this evening? We wanted to bring in, she decided to stay over for Friday. Joining us in the studio, Carrie Hartman, of course, Executive Director for Lucas County Democratic Party. Carrie, thanks so much for staying up late with us.
No problem.
I guess first to get started, what was your thoughts on Trump's speech tonight? What are some of the things that maybe surprised you that he touched on?
It was a lot of words, but very little substance. He made a lot of promises, but no real plans to get to those promises. What mostly surprised me, though, was using the uniform of that firefighter that was killed at the rally as a prop. That didn't feel right with me. And when he kissed the helmet, it was just a little too much.
To the point of what, exactly?
Theatrics, using this death as a way to further this sort of notion that God saved him from that assassination and now he is the chosen one. That just feels a little icky to me.
I got you. I got to ask, going into the Democratic National Convention, which is coming up, and I've got to read a couple of things from tonight. New York Times, CNN, both releasing articles. Several people close to President Biden say they believe he has begun to accept the idea that he may not be able to win in November and is getting ready to step aside. Your reaction?
I'm nervous. I will be at the convention in Chicago. I'm a delegate as an elected official. And so it makes me very uneasy that we are even at this point right now. I am personally very...
But don't you think this is something the Democrats have been preparing for over the last 3 weeks?
I don't know.
Yeah.
No, not as a local Toledo official. I don't rise to that level of those kind of decision making. And in my opinion, I think Biden has done a great job in this first term. So it does kind of scare me to kind of jump ship at this point. And what does that mean for the election? I'm just hoping that whoever our nominee is, we can rally behind them, because Trump made it very clear tonight that he is beatable and that we can take advantage of this opportunity.
Was there anything that stood out as far as the bullet points from, that's a bad choice of words, any of the notions that President Trump put out there that changed from 4 years ago, 8 years ago?
No, he used a lot of the same talking points from 2016. Drill, baby, drill, which is odd because our crude oil production is the highest it's been in years under the Biden administration. And then building the wall along the border. And he continues to point to having the most secure border ever. And he keeps pointing at that magical chart too. But I'm not sure where his metrics are, because that's not usually something we measure, is the amount of illegal immigrants that cross the border. So it's a little bizarre to think that he stands on these promises and perhaps these falsehoods instead of facts.
We decided we wanted to give you both sides of what we had tonight. And Carrie Hartman, nice enough to stay over on a Friday morning, early Friday morning, to speak with us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, appreciate it. Well, if you've been following election news lately, you've probably heard the term Project 2025. But what does that mean? Tonight, our Verified National team breaks down the key points you should know.
It's quickly become one of the most talked about issues of the presidential election.
The Project 2025 plan is not a game.
Project 2025 has been going pretty viral.
Reproductive 900-page blueprint.
Our nation's sovereignty.
Look into Project 2025.
But just what is Project 2025? The Verify team is here to answer some of your questions using these sources. First, some basics. Project 2025 is an extensive proposal to quickly enact dozens of conservative policy goals in the event Trump wins the 2024 election. The proposal is more than 900 pages long, addresses nearly every major issue from abortion to education, and is extremely detailed about how policies should be enacted, sometimes down to the exact wording of proposed executive orders. It was launched by a right-wing think tank called the Heritage Foundation, with support from many other conservative groups. But does it have the support of Donald Trump? Not directly. In a post on Truth Social, Trump explicitly distanced himself from the project. Quote, Some of the things they're saying are absolutely ridiculous and abysmal, but the majority of the project's authors are former Trump staffers, and many of the policy goals stated in the document overlap with those in Trump's own document called Agenda 47. The Heritage Foundation has led similar projects before, releasing detailed policy proposals for Republican presidents dating back to Reagan. So, why is Project 2025 getting so much more attention than their previous plans? A big reason, a bold new tactic the authors propose to more quickly accomplish their goals if Trump wins. The authors argue that in Trump's first term, he didn't enact as many conservative policies as he wanted because federal employees worked against him or generally slowed his progress. So the plan proposes to fundamentally change the way parts of the federal government are run. Federal agencies are led by political appointees, people handpicked by the president. But the agencies are staffed by civil servants, millions of subject matter experts who can only be hired or fired based on merit, according to a long-standing federal law. Civil servants stay in their roles as presidents come and go, assuring that agencies from the FBI to the CDC don't have to be built from scratch every 4 years. But just before he left office, Trump signed an executive order that tried to reclassify tens of thousands of civil servants as political appointees to make them easier to fire. The order was challenged in court, but Biden was elected and repealed it before those cases were settled or the order could take effect. A central tenet of Project 2025, bringing that order back. The authors say they're working on a conservative LinkedIn, a database of potential workers who Trump could immediately hire to replace career civil servants and who would be more eager to enact and enforce his agenda. But it's unclear how easy that would be for Trump to do logistically and legally. Which brings us to our next question. Can all the policies be enacted on day one? No. Many of these proposals would require an act of Congress. That makes a lot of them pretty much impossible unless Republicans also win a majority in the House and a supermajority in the Senate. You can find out more about these specific policy goals in Project 2025 at verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Well, it's always scary for a family when a loved one goes missing. And for those that often wander, it can be a constant fear for caregivers.
Yeah, but it happens. One program is trying to help families make it easier to find somebody if they would walk off. Andre Norrells joins us live in studio to tell us more about this program. Andre.
It's called Project Lifesaver Program. It's something some counties in Ohio use to locate a missing person, especially those with autism, dementia, and Alzheimer's. There was a recent case in Northwest Ohio where this could have come in handy. Last Tuesday, 75-year-old Susan Biller from Tiffin went missing a little after 4:30 in the afternoon. She has dementia. In a hurry to find her, the Tiffin Police Department posted this on its Facebook page.
We went from 10 officers and firefighters, or even 20 officers, firefighters, deputies, to as many people out drive around and check their social media. And next thing you know, we've got half the community looking.
After about 4 hours of searching, she was found under a tarp in an alley.
She saw a tarp on the ground. She thought she saw it move. Initially, she thought it was just the wind. And then she looked a little closer and she barely noticed a set of feet sticking out from underneath this blue tarp. She wanted to remove the tarp, and there was our missing woman.
A quick rescue that could have been worse, but Detective Misty Wheeler with the Seneca County Sheriff's Office says it could have been faster if Biller was a part of the Project Lifesaver program.
Since I've been a part of it, we've only had one person go missing, and I believe he was found within 1 hour.
The program offers people that are prone to wander this bracelet, including those with dementia, Alzheimer's, and autism. That bracelet can be tracked by police. When it comes to cases like Biller's, people with dementia wander more than you think.
At any stage of the disease, they can do this. Statistics will say 6 out of 10 people wander. So it's something that's fairly common when you're a caregiver.
A piece of plastic in exchange for a peace of mind. That bracelet is free, thanks to fundraising through area Lions Club organizations. As for Biller, Wheeler hopes she's next to get one.
Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes something like that for us to recognize that these people would benefit from the program.
Now, according to Project Lifesavers, this program is offered all across Northwest Ohio, including here in Lucas County. To find out which law enforcement agency to contact if you're interested, you can find out more at projectlifesaver.org. Reporting in studio, Andre Knowles, WTOL 11.
It's turning cooler quick during the overnight hours. We're already dipping back into the 50s. When we warm up, that full weekend forecast will be coming up right after the break. Mostly clear skies expected across our areas. We go overnight tonight, and temperatures have been falling very quickly now that we're well after midnight, back into the upper 50s with calmer winds and dew points back in the mid 50s, which means we're going to end up closer to the mid 50s as we go overnight tonight in some areas. There's the clear skies over the next few hours. Look at the brighter sunshine that's going to be expected as we go into our Friday morning, and I do anticipate it is going to be a dry looking Friday. So look at Doppler radar. We have no rain in sight, and it is expected to remain rain-free as we go into the upcoming weekend. That will include Friday, Saturday, and into Sunday, turning slightly warmer each day. Lots of sunshine and eventually back toward average into the upper 80s as we get into Monday. Now, current readings, they are cooler and they are crisp. If you have the windows open, you're feeling a little bit of that chill. Or if you're going to be out the door early tomorrow morning, it will be chilly for that day to open. By the afternoon, highs are going to be closer to 80 degrees, less humid, and a nice light breeze. Should have great scoring out there again at Highland Meadows. Straight into the weekend with sunshine and no chance of any rain. We'll end up into the mid-80s as we get toward Sunday. Now, the rest of the night tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to be looking at temperatures that will start the day back at the upper 50s. And there's a look toward the start of the weekend on Saturday. We're going to be expecting highs eventually back toward and exceeding 80 degrees by Saturday afternoon. So to plan our Friday out close to 80 degrees, we'll have partly to mostly sunny skies and our boaters forecast on Lake Erie. Waves will be very calm much of the day, 1 foot or less as we go through Friday afternoon. 83 degrees on Saturday, mid-80s on Sunday. There's no rain expected straight into the weekend. We are going to be dry all of our weekend hours into Monday, upper 80s, and then Tuesday will bring a change in the weather pattern. It turns noticeably more humid early next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's going to trigger chances of scattered showers and storms that will highlight at least several days toward the middle of next week. And a few of the storms could include some gusty winds and scattered downpours, but keep our highs right around the low to mid 80s as we go through the end of July. Kaylee, back over to you.
All right, thanks, Chris. The Ohio Division of Natural Resources held a special celebration in the area.
Yeah, it's been 50 years since the Maumee River was designated a state scenic river. Multiple vendors and education stations were set up in Providence Metro Park in Grand Rapids. Organizers say they can't stress enough how important the river is to communities in Northwest Ohio.
I think this community loves the river. Most people love the water. It's beautiful, it's recreational, it's a source of our drinking water. I think people in Northwest Ohio really care about their water. People here pay attention, they care. I think they want to be part of the conservation effort to keep the river and the water clean.
Today's celebration was also part of the ODNR's 75th anniversary celebration.
Almost 10 years have passed since Toledo's water crisis, but some people in the area are still worried about the water and what's in it. Some fishermen in Maumee say they don't typically eat what they catch, while others say they do, depending on the type of fish. The Ohio Department of Natural Resources says bottom feeders such as catfish and carp are not as safe as other fish.
The very general consideration is when you think about the type of fish you're fishing for, some are more bottom feeders where others are top predators that are up in the water column eating other fish.
Those with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources say fish like walleye or perch are usually a safe bet. As far as how often you should be eating fish, the Department of Health recommends 1 meal per week for most Ohio sporting fish. Our team here at WTOL 11 is committed to protecting our water, and we want to hear from you. You can send us a video of you sharing your memories during the water crisis 10 years ago. You can text it now to the number on your screen, 419-248-1100. Make sure to include the word water to get a link to all of our coverage.
New at 11-ish. Cows prompted an alert from the Wood County Sheriff's Office tonight. Take a look at this video. Ohio State Representative Haraz Gambari was out with sheriff's deputies as they worked to corral the cattle. This is all happening around 9 o'clock tonight in Portage Township. That's just outside of BG. Representative Gambari says deputies were able to wrangle one of the cows. As you can see from the video, the livestock's late night stroll caused quite a scene.
Well, Jamie Farr, pool was a topic in North Toledo as the community came together to discuss next steps. While the city says the pool was fixed for swimming this year, it won't be open in the future. New options include a top-tier splash pad or a brand new pool, while several other options are on the table. The city ultimately wants the people of the neighborhood to make the decision.
It's this neighborhood's park and this neighborhood's pool. So it doesn't make sense for me to decide what should be in this park. It's their park, it's their pool, they should make that decision.
While a splash pad would cost $1 million and be completed next summer, a new pool would cost more than $3 million and take years to finish.
A piece of property in Oregon's become somewhat of a dumping ground for garbage, grass clippings, and boats. Well, tonight we're hearing from a city councilman about it. Our WTOL 11 cameras got a view of the property at the corner of Pickle and Cretius. Now, we're told the city mowed the grass after residents complained of bulk trash and high grass. While progress is being made, Councilman Stephen Salander, he said that the city recently took possession of it from the land bank after the buildings were demolished. As far as the boats go, he says they're technically assets and have to be treated like a vehicle, meaning obtaining titles before being removed. He adds that the city may have a potential buyer, but if that falls through, they will sell the boats and transfer ownership of the land to the Oregon Economic Development Foundation. All right, stay right there. When we come back, we've got more to get to. In fact, we're going to go right here, right now. We want to bring you sports. Here's Tyler.
Welcome into sports. Good evening, everyone. Tyler Segerman here with you. An impressive display of skill on the first day of the Dana Open. From a hole-in-one to a jam-packed leaderboard, spectators here witnessed professionalism at its finest. Let's take a look at the action. This course set up to produce some solid numbers, and many capitalized on those opportunities. South Africa's Paula Rito setting the tone early. She capped her day with a low score of 66 to jump in the clubhouse as early leader. Elsewhere in the morning, group's fan favorite Stacey Lewis aiming to get off to a good start. A 4-under certainly gave the crowd something to cheer for as she sits in a tie for 7th. One of the most impressive performances involved defending champion Lynn Grant's group, but she took a back seat not because she played bad, but because Aditi Ashok made shots like this, dropping a pin on the 8th here to set up birdie. Moments later, Janet Lynn looking to keep pace, and she too takes a stroke off. Both her and Ashok finished the day at 6 under. Everyone, though, is chasing Haejin Choi of South Korea, who erupted on her back 9. 5 birdies to close out the round puts her on top after day 1, a 64, ladies and gentlemen.
Putting was better than front 9. So, I played yesterday but I felt not really great putting.
I think I played, pretty solid all day. I didn't miss a lot of greens, and when I did miss them, they were kind of on the fringe, or I think I only chipped maybe once or twice.
I'm really excited. It's probably the most number of birdies I've made in a round in a very long time. So it's nice to see a little bit of progress, and putted it really nicely today. So very happy with the day.
Before any of the golf action got going on Thursday, one local had to tee up his shot. 8-year-old Grayson Misch from Perrysburg took part in the ceremonial first tee shot around 6:30 a.m. Even had Stacey Lewis out there caddying for him. Misch is one of the Dana Open patient champions who are being honored this week. He was born with a congenital heart disease, but is doing great now. His dad says they were able to make it through as a family.
Yeah, definitely tests the strengths of the family, but at the end you do prevail. It's difficult, but we're fortunate that we've got a good group. Boy, it's a tough one. I would just say stay together, work through things. There'll be ups and downs, more downs, but just believe and stay positive through the whole thing, right? And then rely heavily on family and all of your people around you.
Another incredible opportunity and moment provided by this tournament. Of course, we get 3 more days of it. Lexi Thompson Day will highlight tomorrow with a flyover during her tee shot around 1 o'clock. Macmedia Day is also taking place in Canton. We'll have coverage from that for you as well. Until then, that's all for sports.
Tyler, thanks. Something else that's happening this weekend. Open houses continue at the St. Jude Dream Home out in Perrysburg. And in fact, they happen Saturday and Sunday. But to continue that point, St. Jude Children's Research Hospital has entire teams of the best doctors, researchers, scientists, all working around the clock looking for cures to childhood cancer.
We've shown you the house, the car, and the amazing things you could win with your $100 ticket. But in Memphis, your $100 can be the funding that saves a young child's life.
Eliza, she's the little ray of sunshine. Her laugh is full of joy and love. I'm so blessed to be her parent.
I think she's the most beautiful girl in the world. I love her with everything in me, and she's so tough.
Eliza's diagnosed with bilateral retinoblastoma at 4 months. It's cancer of the eyes. It's aggressive and it's fast growing. And as a mom hearing that, I still cry because, you want to take away all of the pain and you don't want your kid to be sick, obviously.
It breaks you. And with what we've been going through, I don't know how we would have made it without St. Jude.
The care that she's gotten at St. Jude, it's seriously saved her life.
All right, good job.
And it's amazing that we don't receive any bills from St. Jude. We only have to worry about Eliza. We are so thankful that there are people out there who care and who give to St. Jude so that we can care for our baby girl.
St. Jude has given us hope. We're gonna grow with her and laugh with her and make so many memories with her. And the people that donate money each and every month to St. Jude, it's all because of them.
All right, you can still support our St. Jude Dream Home giveaway. We appreciate your support and hope to see you out at the open houses this upcoming weekend, both Saturday and Sunday. Look at this weekend forecast. Going to be great weather to be out there to view or maybe to get that yard work done. 83 degrees Saturday, mostly sunny skies, going to be slightly warmer. Lots of sunshine on Sunday. Mid-80s will still be showing up. Most spots upper 50s, lower 60s. We're going to cool back tonight. Widespread mid to upper 50s across the area. And if we're looking toward that Dana Open, our Friday morning is going to be a little cool, a little crisp, bright sunshine into the afternoon. A couple of those fair weather cumulus clouds, that less humid feel, and a very light wind. It is not going to be an issue out on the course. Still going to have some great scores out there that are going to be showing up. 83 Saturday, mid-80s on Sunday. Go ahead and bring the family out. It is Family Day on Sunday as we wrap up the Dana Open on Sunday afternoon. Now, our sunset time Friday is going to be 9:04. It is already shaved 8 minutes off of our latest sunset of the year, and our expectation is by the end of July, 8:52 is going to be sundown time. Mostly sunny skies, going to be dry and pleasant, right around 80 degrees on Friday. And that boaters forecast as we go out of Lake Erie on Friday, it is going to be nice and smooth, glassy looking Lake Erie waters. Northerly winds less than 10 knots, going to keep our waves 1 foot or less. Mostly sunny skies. Look at that lake water temperatures now made its way well into the mid to upper 70s. It is going to be peaking over the next several weeks. Our extended 10-day forecast does have highs close to 80 degrees on Friday. 83 Saturday, dry weather through the weekend, mid-80s on Sunday, back to the upper 80s on Monday. Next chance of scattered showers and storms. It's going to be out there Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And those storms could include some downpours and even a few areas of some gusty winds, but it does keep the heat somewhat at bay, only in the low to mid 80s as we go through at least the middle of next week, which will put our 10-day forecast very close to average for this time of year. That's a look at your outlook. Jeff, Kaylee, back over to you.
All right. Always interesting when we talk about overnights, and we're in the overnight. Exciting news for fans of a certain chain this morning.
Yeah, this morning, Buc-ee's is coming to Ohio. It will be the first location in the Buckeye State. A groundbreaking is set for August 8th in Huber Heights near the Dayton area. As of July 2024, there are 50 active Buc-ee locations around the U.S., with most being found in Texas. I will say I am excited for this. I love Buc-ee's.
Tell me about it.
Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
I have never been to a Buc-ee's.
Have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
I've been once.
Wow.
What am I missing?
It's like a grocery store and a gas station combined, but it's great. Honestly, so when my mom and I drove down to Florida for the hurricane, we made all those trips. We would stop at Buc-ee's in Kentucky, and the food's great. I'm excited.
There's quite the following.
Yeah.
You're not alone in this.
I mean, I don't have like the t-shirt or anything, but definitely a must stop.
At least with you here today. It's not to say you don't wear it on the weekends.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no comment on that.
Well, we can look forward to that, obviously down in the Dayton area. Chris, you talked about the open houses. I want to talk St. Jude for just a minute. And obviously, we've had just a great campaign. And I know Mike was telling you today, earlier when you were out at the house, he said, the look on the faces is all he needs to see when people walk through those doors.
And they get such great ideas of what they would do if they're the winner. Of course, you can only be the winner if you have that lucky ticket. So go ahead and get those tickets before they're gone.
Thanks for joining us here on this Friday morning.
We'll see you later today.